who will be discussing the
Yes, I think I can start. Can I share my yes slide? Yes. Okay. Just 1 second while I start my slide. Okay, so thank you very much for having me, and I'd like to extend my sincere gratitude to FinCity.Tokyo. And today I'd like to talk about the fintech community in Tokyo, and starting from attraction of Tokyo in terms of fintech. So now we are observing very healthy growth in fintech activities. The startups are growing, and the collaboration between startups and banks are expanding. And there are very strong need from a financial institution to digitize, especially after this COVID-19. Financial institutions have realized that they need to reorganize their branch networks and digitize their offerings. So they are looking for smart solutions to improve their quality of services in digital way. And also, size of the market is fairly big, and it's one of the top in the world. And moving on to a fintech ecosystem, I would like to emphasize that the stakeholders in fintech area are all becoming very active. For example, regulators or public offices, FSA, and other government offices are now offering a regulatory sandbox to test out new ideas. And also, FSA has their own fintech office, and also Bank of Japan have their own fintech center to support different fintech initiatives. And also, as you heard, JETRO, Tokyo Metropolitan Government, is supporting the entry of fintech companies. And there are many legal experts, and I guess we will hear a lot later, but there are many dedicated experts for payment or other areas of financial services. And also, we are seeing some of the lawyers working in the government sector for maybe like 2 years to support legal process. And also, some of these people going back to their law office would support startups to initiate their businesses. And we've seen specialists in different areas. And from the startup side, the community of startup is growing. And now we've seen FinTech Association in Japan growing. And now we'll talk about the other communities later. And also the funding activities are expanding. And during the COVID-19, we've seen a slowdown from venture capital side, but gradually it's coming back. And in terms of fintech investment, we have pretty optimistic view in the future. And the collaboration between startups and collaboration with financial institutions are expanding. And also from the investor side, we have seen an increasing trend in early stage to later stage. And many investors are involved in acceleration activities to scale. And also we have seen many entries of corporate venture capital, mainly supported by financial institutions. And also in academic institutions, we have seen new fintech courses created, and also they have been active in incubation and funding. Some academic institutions are creating their own venture fund. And also now we are seeing changes in career pattern, so that initially in previously many graduates from the good university would go into government sector or large corporates, but now we are seeing some of the very top students starting their own business or going into the venture areas, startup areas. And financial institutions are very active in creating their dedicated teams, and also they're active in investing in fintech firms. And we have seen a lot of collaboration. So now with this ecosystem growing, we have seen a lot of interaction going on between these stakeholders, and also the community within the stakeholders are formed, and I'll come back to that in later. And I think today many people talked about what is the entering process to the Japan market. And typically you start with feasibility study, and then the physical entry of registering the company would take place, and then you go into the business development. And I think many advices are given from public sector, professional service and financial institutions or business partners. But here I would like to emphasize the importance of community. Once you enter into a community, it would be easier for you to find out about many minute things from others, especially from those who went through the similar process. And here I would like to explain a little bit about the community expansion in Tokyo. And there are many community with physical space like FINOLAB, like us, and there's the Fintech Association, and FinGate, very strong in asset management, and also Plug and Play from the US is now in Japan, and they have a very strong accelerator program. And Tokyo Fintech Meetup is for foreign person, mainly engineers and business person who's gathering virtually from time to time for different events. And also there's a fintech engineer community specialized in engineering. And also there's the InsurTech meetup. And there are some others, but it's quite interesting that along with the fintech activity expanding, we are seeing these communities expanding. And also many financial institutions are hosting their accelerator or incubation office, and that would also create the community of its own. So MUFG has Spark and Japan Digital Design, and Adventure Lab is created by Noreen Chuking, and Nisei has their Nisei Life. Nisei Life has a Nisei X laboratory, and Diagonal Run is organized by Fukuoka Financial Group, and Mizuho has Blue Lab, and GMO AssetNet Bank created the Snabar, and SMBC created Hoops Link in Shibuya, and Nomura has N Village. And it's quite interesting to see that most of these offices or incubation facilities are located within 5 kilometers radius of central Tokyo, so it's very accessible. So I advise you to reach out and try to find any of these communities which may be available for your needs. And just briefly about FINOLAB. We started from our journey in 2016, and now we have like 600 members with 51 startups and 16 corporates. And among these corporates, there are more than 10 startups from abroad. And we've been supporting them from early stage of entering a Japan market to growing process. And also some Japanese startups have staff members from abroad. And now that the living cost in major cities are going up, and some engineers, for example, in Silicon Valley in the US, the living cost has grown up. So some of this engineers decided to come to Japan to work for a fintech startup here in Japan. And all after these supporting these startups, we have learned some lessons. So basically, it's not just one company, but there are many similar companies out there to make challenges. So you can learn from each other. And also, it is always a good idea to pursue open innovation, working with other people. And especially now, financial institution in Japan, which was known to be conservative, are switching to open innovation policy so that you have pretty good chance to work with them. And also diversity is blessing, not a hurdle. And I think Japanese society is changing, and once you become a part of a community, then you won't be stopped for being a foreign person. And I think people are becoming very understanding about person who's from outside of Japan. So I just would like to emphasize that the power of community is key to your success, and especially in financial service with changing trend with emerging technology. I think you would find it quite exciting to come to Tokyo and knock on the doors of one of the community, just like FINOLAB here in Tokyo. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Shibata, for your presentation. That was very interesting. So we have a few questions here for you. One is, can we expect networking with local players once we become a member of FINOLAB?
Yes, so we have regular events, and before COVID-19 we had the meetup every week, but now we're switching to online version, and now we slowly started with a hybrid version. So we limit the number of participants and not to be too crowded, but gradually we are increasing. And also we were organizing many events, inviting other people outside of FINOLAB. And I think it would be a good opportunity. And we have very good working relationship with other communities like like association or plug and play, and we co-host many events. And now many of them are shifted to online, but we are now starting to explore the new tools for associating each other using the online tool. So I think you would find it possible to meet other startups through different platforms.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. And how can you become involved with FINOLAB from abroad?
Right. So basically, we have some process of acceptance. We go through some um, testing phase, but if you can contact us, we will advise what would be the best way. And even if we cannot help by providing office, or if you're not interested in becoming a member of FINOLAB, and we can guide you to other organization or other platform which would suit your needs.
Okay, thank you very much. And can you name a few examples of startups that have successfully expanded in Japan, specifically focusing on companies that have come to Japan from abroad?
Right. So, for example, one successful example is TransferWise, which is the payment fund transfer. They started from our office and got the license as a fund transfer agent. And they started from a small room, but now they've moved to a larger space. And also, Revolut recently started their challenger bank offerings in Japan. They first stayed in the office to do market research, and then established a Japan entity. And once they formed the big team, then they moved out for larger space. But that's quite typical of what we've observed, starting from maybe a hot desk or small room, and then move on to a larger space, and then find a very large office outside.
Okay, great. Thank you. And what is involved for becoming a member, like for a startup that wants to be a member of FINOLAB? What is involved?
Right. So basically, we are looking for relatively new company. So for Japanese startups, we limit the company within 5 years of establishment. And for foreign startups, it's not strictly applied, but we try to look for startup with relatively young history. And also, we are focusing on fintech area. And now the area of fintech is expanding, so it's quite difficult to make judgment, but we want to have some sort of financial service content. And also, we do a due diligence in terms of KYC. So it's similar to a financial institution opening an account. We do these things. But if you have a good track record in your home market, it's highly likely that we can accept your application. Thank you.
Okay, yeah, thank you again for your time today, Mr. Shibata. So next